In the heart of the Norfolk countryside is where you'll find Snetterton Race Circuit. Always a firm favourite with GT drivers, the track is characterised by its long straights and fast corners. It's set to provide some great racing today for this, the third round of the 2010 GT Cup Championship. It's a beautiful day here at Snetterton, but the weather's not the only thing that's hotting up. The championship battle's getting rather interesting too. Currently leading the championship is Group 2 driver Keith Webster, but just 1 point behind him is Marco Pullen. Marco, you're currently running second in the championship, so points are going to be really important today.
Yeah, points are really important today. There's only 1 point between all three of us at the top of the championship. Obviously Jim's not here, so that helps me and Keith have a nice battle for the crowds.
Now, the long straights here, how do you think the Ferrari will perform against the BMW?
We've never really been against him in testing or in qualifying. The team made sure we all know near each other, so you didn't follow the lines. I feel the Ferrari will probably be quicker down the straights, but I know the BMW is a little bit lighter through the bends, so it'll be a good race.
Keith, currently leading the championship, but just behind you is Marco Pullen. We've just spoken to him. He's fairly confident today, I must say.
Yeah, he's well, he should be. He's got 3 poles out of three starts, and he's got some fastest laps. But I've been pushing him. I had a problem in qualifying, so I'm really confident. I was testing on Friday, and with full ballast, and was quicker than him in all his sessions. So yeah, we're pretty confident. If everything's right with the car, we can walk away from him.
What about your baby?
My wife is very understanding, as you can imagine. I've got my motorcycle in the back of my van, so that if I get a call, I can be home within about 2 hours. It's 150 mile.
Well, a very exciting day for you, Keith. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you very much.
It's almost time for race 1 of the GT Cup here at Snetterton. Starting on the front row, well, on pole position, it's Alex Martin. He's fresh from a win at Thruxton, but lining up next to him is Andy Ruin, who actually won here in the GT Cup last year. And further down the grid, well, that's where the championship battle is taking place. Starting on pole in Group 2, well, it's Marco Pullen. Just behind him, expectant father and championship leader Keith Webster.
So the cars making their way out onto the circuit for the first of 2 25-minute races here at Snetterton, with Thruxton winner Alex Martin on pole position and the similar Porsche of Andy Ruin with him at the front of the grid. The spectacular TVR of Danny Winstanley is on row 2 with the BMW of Don Grice alongside, and Leon Price and Garrett Eastwood round out the top 6. Further down the order, people to watch: Colin Mole in the KTM, Chris Bentley, the former Alfa racer, going great guns in his Porsche this year, and Sarah Bennett-Baggs with the BMW M3 E46 out qualifying the Porsches, the Lotuses and the TVR Sabra of John Wilson that will start 30th on what's a very full grid. So the pace car, as it is, leads the field for a rolling start out of Russell. It peels for the pit lane, and so the Porsches of Alex Martin and Andy Ruin at the front of the grid about to do battle with the Kermit Green TVR of Danny Winstanley there on the second row of the grid alongside Don Grice, the man from Stockport, with the yellow BMW. The race gets underway now. The lights go out, and as they blast off down towards Riches for the first time, it's Alex Martin who leads, but a bit of contact behind. Look, as Andy Ruin moves across and leans on Danny Winstanley. Dropping back is Don Grice, because it looks as though Leon Price has gone ahead of him in the first of the black Ferraris. There's a squeal of tyres midway around Riches, and off backwards, I'm afraid, goes 35. That's Chris Bentley in the CTR Altitude run Porsche, and a sideways Andy Ruin comes out of the newly tightened Sear corner. You'll notice these new curbs that are there to try and prevent people from running wide. However, there are still people running wide, and that's Rupert Martin, Alex's dad, who's made a mistake and slides off backwards there over the curb. He's going to be able to rejoin, but a long, long way back now. Race leaders working their way through the S's for the first time as there. Mick Dwayne dives up on the inside to try to gain a place, heading down towards the S's, and he goes through as we look back from Keith Webster's car. Coming under huge pressure, Francis Galashan is there behind him. Colin Mole in the KTM also wriggling through, gaining a place. The beauty of the GT Cup is that the battles rage on all the way down through the field. There are cars that are evenly matched right the way through the field, and the same is true for drivers. But at the moment, it's Alex Martin up front, leading the way, looking for 2 wins on the bounce here as he comes out of Russell. The leading BMW there in 5th place, the bewinged yellow BM in the hands of Don Grice, somebody with lots of BMW experience. He's also raced in the historic Group C Championship. And monitoring the pit boards, having to be pulled back there as the leaders flash very close indeed to the pit wall. So Alex Martin leads, Andy Ruin second, Danny Winstanley is third. Those three getting away a little bit now as the battle rages on behind them. And there the Vista labels back. BMW still hunting down fourth place. Number 49, you can see looking as though he's heading for the pit lane. Rupert Martin after his spin here at Sear on the first lap. Very wide indeed there, though, goes 88 Leon Price with his Ferrari. That compromises his exit speed. Onto the Revit straight, up and past him now goes Don Grice at the BMW. Just that momentary delay coming through the corner, running wide, having to gather up the momentum once again means that Price loses the place, and so Don Grice now goes fourth. Loads of dust, that's the leader who's gone off. Alex Martin at the S's has thrown away the race lead. He gets himself towards the circuit once again. Gary Eastwood's about to go past him. Ex-Porsche racer turned Ferrari racer goes through on the inside, but Alex Martin is going to be way down the field now. It wasn't under immediate pressure. It therefore doesn't look as though there was any contact. It seems it was his mistake, and so Alex Martin has spun himself way out of contention. He's going to be very frustrated about that. He's also going to have dirty tyres for a lap or so he's going to have to be careful here not to get too much of the red mist. The tendency is to push on, then you make another mistake because your tyres are dirty, you've not got the traction there, and you go off again. So Alex Martin comes across the line now. He's going to be down in at least 8th as they come through Riches. Yes, 8th he is. So Alex Martin leaving himself with lots and lots of work to do. In the meantime, Colin Mole there with the KTM running behind the Porsche, the Francis Gallichan, and Alex Martin trying to make amends for his indiscretion as he tries to get up alongside Steve Quick there in the white Ferrari coming onto the Revit straight. The Fox Construction backed car leading the little battle that he's having with the erstwhile race leader Alex Martin. Those two are together and Alex Martin dives to the inside, coming into the braking area now for the SS. Is he going to be able to go through? Yes, he does. Gains the place, and so Alex Martin moves through. Marco Pullen in the meantime looking at the back of David Back's Ferrari. These two running nose to tail here. Both of them running in Group 2. And the two Ferraris have got themselves absolutely nose to tail, and behind them in the BMW is Keith Webster. Remember, as far as the championship is concerned, it's Webster ahead of Pullen, and a very tight battle they're having. David Back in the meantime trying to defend as he sprints his way now up out of Russell. Great enthusiast of sports car racing. David was a spectator at Le Mans a couple of weeks ago. As down into the pit lane, sad to say, comes the BMW of Don Grice. This, meantime, is Tom Andrew losing a place, and the Group 3 lead battle is becoming ever more intense now. Adrian Watt in the BMW goes on the inside there to get past Tom Andrew, and also squeezing into the picture as well. Look, is Dan Norris-Jones with the Lotus Exige. These three all arguing over the Group 3 lead here. Down the Revit straight they go once more, down towards the S's, and Tom Andrew really has lost a couple of places over those last couple of laps. Is he going to be able to fight his way back through? Well, this is the Group 2 lead battle in the meantime. David Back ahead of Francis Gallichan, who gets a little bit sideways there. Coming out of Russell, gets a tap in the tail from Marco Pullen. The Porsche rather seesawed across the front of him. And Marco Pullen, having clouted the rear of the Porsche 911, now goes to the outside line, but Gallichan moves across and defends. Marco Pullen thinks about the inside, as now for the race lead, Andy Ruin in the white Porsche has got Danny Winstanley's very spectacularly driven TVR right up behind him. Ahead, look, is Don Grice back out after his pit stop, but with a bit of smoke coming from the rear of the BMW, and Steve Quick loses it coming out of Russell. Round goes the Ferrari. That was a quick spin, I suppose. He's going to be able to rejoin from there, but Steve Quick will have lost places as a result. Keith Webster in the meantime desperately trying to work his way up through the class, as you can see now. The fancy footwork going on as he heads down towards the S's. Toes and heels his way down through the gears. He's on the back of the Porsche of Francis Gallichan, and the BMW going very effectively in Keith's hands as they turn now through the right-hander of the bomb hole up towards Coram Curve. Gallichan in the Porsche just runs a little bit wide. But this is the race leader, and Andy Ruin looks as though he's on target for a GT Cup win despite the damage at the front. Now, did that come possibly from when he hit Alex Martin? That is a replay of Marco Pullen going off the road. No damage, doesn't hit any of the barriers, so he should be able to rejoin, albeit a long way back. But I just wonder whether, after all, in Alex Martin's demise, there was a bit of contact. Certainly you can see the damage on the front of the race leader's car, but Andy Ruin has shaken off Danny Winstanley now, as Keith Webster is still trying to find a way past Gallichan. This is for the Group 2 lead. Down through the gears, into the S's goes Keith Webster. And Gallichan runs wide, he's made a mistake, I think he's outbraked himself, goes wide, he's going to be on the wrong line, coming out of the S's, leaves the door wide open, and Keith Webster charges up the inside, and that on the last lap of the race is going to be good enough to give him the group lead. Fantastic stuff. Keith Webster then, who came into this race leading the championship, gains another place as Andy Ruin comes across the line to take the checkered flag to win the first of 2 GT Cup races here at Snetterton. He wins Group 1 as well, but as far as the Group 2 battle is concerned, it's going to go the way of a very, very happy Keith Webster. The BMW is victorious. Confirmation of the way they came across the line. Andy Ruin takes the race win ahead of Danny Winstanley and a recovered Alex Martin. Leon Price finishing 4th ahead of Gary Eastwood, with Keith Webster winning Group 2 6th overall. As far as the groups are concerned, Andy Ruin, Danny Winstanley and Alex Martin are the top 3 within Group 1, Porsche, TVR and Porsche. It's BMW, Porsche, BMW though in Group 2, Webster ahead of Galashan and Michael Simons finishing 3rd. In Group 3, more success for BMW, Adrian Watt fending off the KTM of Tom Andrew and then the Lotus of Dan Norris-Jones. But there's no doubt about the overall race winner, a very, very happy Andy Ruin, triumphant in the Porsche, and he stands on the top step of the podium at Snetterton.
Well, congratulations, Andy. We've seen you have a class win here at Snetterton, but your first overall win.
First overall win, obviously moved up a class this year, and last year when I was here I got a class win and 3rd overall, but God, it feels good to stand on the top step, it really does. It's a long way up.
Well, just like your baby making a last-minute appearance there for the win of Group 2.
Yeah, that was amazing, absolutely amazing. I got my 5-minute board, my 10-minute board and my 5-minute board, which meant time to push. And I started pushing and just pressurising the guys, waiting for that mistake, and it paid off. Amazing. I learned so much in that. It was the best race I've had.
Adrian, congratulations. You got the champagne there for a win in Group 3.
Thank you very much, and I thought we'll save this champagne till later. We'll put it on ice and hopefully be able to celebrate England winning the football as well. And apart from that, I thought it would be very, very cruel to spray everyone with sticky champagne on a day like today.
Keith Webster extends his championship lead there with that last-minute win for Group 2. What an exciting race. I'm sure you're going to be back for more just after the break.